both of our movies tonight have fabulous 70s ballads on the soundtrack, and that really makes me happy. Welcome back to the Drive-In Asylum double feature. We hope you all enjoyed Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary, because I totally loved it.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it. I know we talked in between, but I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Sam, your image, it was frozen on a still of you that made it look like you died right before we went live. I was concerned.
I'm fine.
Good.
I was sitting in a bathtub with this Mary girl, and she stabbed me with her hairpin. But I'm okay.
She was mean. She looked all pretty and everything. She had that.
Was I right that you were going to love this movie?
You were righter than right. I totally am in love with Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary now.
And it's very 70s.
She had that Miriam Blaylock thing going on, like Catherine Deneuve from The Hunger, where she was like, well, I love you, but I'm going to stab the shit out of you too and drink your blood. And, I don't really care what happens to you. And same thing goes with Rabid. There were so many Rabid vibes in this movie, like when she had her, encounter in the bathtub. Oh, by the way, I linked to the edited version of the film. My bad. Sorry. That bathtub scene went on a little bit longer in the unedited version. And she had this moment, and I have to explain it, because if you saw the edited version, you didn't see that part, where she had this breakdown in the tub, and she's like, I never wanted it to be somebody that I care about. It's never been anyone that I care about before. Of course, the friend has no idea what she's talking about. She just thinks they're going to have a little fun in the bathtub, a little lady fun. And then she gets her throat cut. Terrible way to end an encounter in the bathtub.
Casual encounter ends with hairpin to the throat. The first guy was like really into it too. He was like, "This is everything I thought it would be," and then she's like, "Well, let me untie my hair."
Yeah.
Very efficient way of killing. Bad cops, as always. Horrible cops.
Oh, what the hell was going on with them? Can we talk about that for a second, please?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
They were the worst.
Yeah. And as Lee said, there's a lot of giallo in it too, with John Carradine's character is seemingly transplanted from Italy with his switchblade and chasing and dressing up and whatnot. He fights a guy with a shovel and easily stabs him in the stomach, which killed you instantly.
Yeah, that was the most infuriating death in the film, because that guy was armed. I mean, at least almost as well as John Carradine was, because he had the advantage of being able to swing that damn thing at him. But instead, he's just like, oh, no, please.
Oh. Yeah, and it was like literally first stab. That's it. That's all it takes. It's like movies where it's like I've been getting into so many kung fu movies where a henchman takes one punch. They take like one back fist and they like explode. That guy was weak-willed. He didn't make it.
I mean, she didn't even make him drink tainted alcohol.
No. That's what I love. It's like, this is also a thermos movie. How many evil thermos movies are there? Not many. Once you see that thermos come out.
It is a bad sign.
Randomly killing fishermen. There's you also said the shark scene was kind of edited up too.
An evil thermos scene. Would that be The Hidden?
Yeah, I guess.
Wasn't there something in The Hidden where it came out of a canister like that?
Yeah.
Beware the Blob.
Yeah.
That's a killer thermos movie at the beginning.
It is a killer thermos movie. Now that's a new letterbox list. I got to do a evil thermos movie.
A subgenre no one knew about.
The subgenre movies with thermoses. A lot of furniture in this movie. A lot of beautiful sets. A lot of groovy music.
Those sets were killer. And the lamps in this movie, oh my God, I was palpitating.
Yeah.
I did not like her sexy bathroom, though. Not for 1 second. With all those mirrors around and everything, like the pressure's on. You know what I mean?
imagine cleaning that bathroom?
I kept thinking that. I'm like, every time you take a bath, you'd have to go in there with a fucking squeegee the day after.
Yeah. And if you got a streak in one of the mirrors, you're going to see it in all the other mirrors. Who takes it? It's like the bathroom from Dr. Han from Enter the Dragon. That's what I imagine his tub looks like, just all mirrors.
Well, if you can afford to live in a house like that, you can afford some hired help, and I'm sure they would hate you for every time you took a bath because you would make them go in there and clean all those mirrors.
Like could you use the shower downstairs? No, I love the bathtub. I love the bath. And great. Here she goes again. There he goes again. Man. Vince asked, is Evil Doll and Lake of Dracula Japanese genre? I'd say those are Japanese Hammer movies more than genre. There are, I would say Evil Dead Trap 2 is genre. Was he digging a grave or robbing a grave? Frank, that's a great thought. Maybe that's why he was,
Well, he looked like a grave digger to me, but he was drunk.
Yeah.
So, or at least he was acting tipsy.
Yeah, it's his job. I drink all day. I dig graves in the afternoon.
Maybe he did drink out of her thermos after all.
John brings up, this has some Pigs vibe and a BW too, Bill. So that's another reason for you to like it. It has hints. It's like a cocktail of some of your favorite films.
Yeah, you knew I was going to love this, and I totally did. I love the rabid vibes in it most of all because she was a little bit Marilyn Chambers. Just a little bit. I mean, the way she acted. She didn't resemble Marilyn Chambers, but
Max Factor was like, I don't know.
Yeah. She was definitely a face made for makeup.
Yeah. Yeah. But I dug it. I this is like probably the 10th time I've seen this. I really like it. So I've been saying to Bill for a while, I'm like, we really need to watch this one. So I'm glad we did. And I hope everybody else dug it. That's out in the chat. What genre do you think it was? If you could put it into a genre, folks. That was my homework for everybody.
Yes, we're all grounded on our imaginary foundations, and I just found a major piece of my foundation, so I feel a little more stable in life because I saw Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary.
Yeah, I still like Alucarda more, and there's a lot. There is a lot of screaming in this movie. Yes, a lot of the word Ben screamed a lot, but still per capita scream wise, Alucarda is the scream king, or queen, I should say. It is scream-tastic.
I agree. There was more screaming in this movie than I expected, but I don't know how you could top Alucarda.
Alucarda, where it's hilarious how much screaming it is. There's not even any dialogue anymore. There's just screaming. Screaming back and forth when her friend comes back from the dead and is all covered. It's just like screaming.
Yeah, and that whole possession scene where they're in the bedroom. The one where all the Thrill Kill Cult samples came out of, like, there's all this just intense screaming there, constant.
It had to be the most exhausting movie. The only movie I think of that, and I think of the scene in Possession where she freaks out, is like the most exhausting scenes to be in. Like those are like one take scenes. You know what I mean? It just seems like so much effort was put into it.
Where was the Academy when Tina Romero delivered that stunning performance in Alucarda?
Nowhere. Why? Where's that on the Sight and Sound list that everybody was talking about? Nowhere. Oh, My Dinner with Andre's on it. I don't know what else would be on it.
Thanks to everybody in the chat for coming back. It's nice to see you. And remember to click like and share the video if you want to.
My question for Mike Justice is, was there another shark-based romance going on that same beach a little further down? Another Mexican-themed shark romance, if you know what I'm saying.
One of those trendy thruples that happened on during one fateful summer in Mexico.
That was I said to Bill at the end of this movie, when she ends up in the next town, she ends up running into what's her name from Tintaware, and she's like, my vacation was crazy. My boyfriend died. My father tried to kill me. She goes, let me tell you what happened to me. I was in love with two men, and one of them got eaten by a shark. And at that point, the third lady turns around and goes, have I told you about the hand? Do you know about the hand that attacked me?
Oh, there was this hand that was just such a bother.
This hand and a boxing priest and a railroad car. Horrible. Don't go to Mexico, ladies. There's horrors waiting for you there. Hands and yeah, I know. My mom wants to go back to Mexico. My mom said, I want to go back to Mexico a couple weeks ago. And I was like, I'm not going there with you because there's a hand there waiting for me.
Yeah. Oh, I'll go anywhere, darling. Just make sure there's no hand there.
The hand. Is the hand real? Boy. So, yeah. I'm glad. It looks like people dug it. I'm glad. Hopefully, I don't think I steer you guys wrong that often. We'll see after the next one.
I feel like Tim's icon right now.
Yeah. Like a little Coop character. Very nice. I've never screamed so much I craved ice cream, but you got it, John.
Yeah, there is a lot of 70s atmosphere in this movie. And I don't know. It's such a hard thing to put a finger on because this is a Mexican film. We see a lot of, we're going to see a Spanish film from the same era. And they're all coming from different parts of the world. It's more like the way that films were put together is what I react to when I watch movies like this, because it has changed so much. The whole structure of a film has been sort of, distorted now since then. Or maybe this was just, because I was sleepy and watching them late night. Oh, yeah. Sam, are you frozen?
No, I'm here.
Your face keeps freezing. It's freaking me out.
I'm having stroke. A digital stroke. Am I moving now?
No.
Oh my God. What is happening?
I don't know. It could just be me.
Maybe the hand is doing it. I agree with Mike that if we can get Christina, Samantha Egger, and Susan George together for the Mexican Avengers, pretty much, of women in danger in Mexico, I am 100% into that.
Yeah, you are frozen in the feed.
Let me see if I can. Let me reset my camera real quick. Let's see if that does anything. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
If I disappear forever, I love you all.
And we love you, Sam. Don't go into the light. There we go.
I'm going to switch back to camera 2. How's that?
Still frozen. Oh, wait, there you go.
Oh, okay.
It's delayed, but at least you're moving now.
Man, I'm like doom metal. Like I'm using my delay pedal. All right. Well, I'm glad everybody dug it. I'm glad we made it through it. A lot of screaming, a lot of Ben.
This really was not as freaky as the two other movies we mentioned from the same director, like Avocado.
In no way as freaky. Yeah.
So do you think somebody told him to tone it down, or he just got a little more laid back? Because this was a little later in his career.
I think they're like, hey, this one's not just going to play in Mexico. This one's going to play in America. So maybe you better I don't know if they're ready for bloody bandages as nun costumes. I've never seen a nun dressed like that in my entire dirty, bloody bandages covering every inch of their body.
Well, that's, that's what made him so unique. I hope nobody ever told that director to tone it down because he should know.
No, if anything, I'd be like, more. Let's do it. Go crazy.
Oh, no, let's go. So anything else you want to say about Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary? Like, how does her garden grow? Before we move on to Marta.
The last thing I want to say is my favorite scene is when her dad pointed at the camera in John Carradine. It was supposed to be like this, but it was like
gnarled up. Yeah. We should talk a little about Carradine because I don't think we were talking about it during the break, but I don't think we were live. So One of the things I kept wondering was that him running up the hill with the thing wrapped around his head? I don't think that was him.
No, I don't think so. I think they put him. It was a tricky costume to get him into, so that he didn't have to do everything, and they could just do the close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
But was it him drinking that blood out of the neck like he was drinking whiskey out of the tap? Yeah, that was him.
Of course.
Yeah. He's like, I'll do that. Also, the painting she does of her dad looks like him as Dracula, which I find hilarious. She's like, this is all I remember of my father. And she shows him that picture, and it's like, that's your
That
dad.
is
Remember?
him as Dracula. It's from the movie Son of Dracula.
Yeah. That's what I love. It's like, she's like, this is my memory of my father. And it's a painting from Son of Dracula.
Was it Son of Dracula? No.
I don't know which one it is. It's one of his many skinny Draculas. All I know is that he fought Mil Mascaras as Dracula, and really, isn't that everything? Like, isn't that the best?
That one that he's in, the Monster Rally, I think it's House of Dracula. The Dracula story is the shortest thing in it. Or maybe I'm thinking of House of... It was one of the ones where Dracula shows up. It's John Carradine, and it's the shortest. Oh, the one about the carnival. Okay, so that's House of Frankenstein I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
God, I'm like totally not up on my I've been in this world of strange, obscure movies for so long. I'm forgetting Universal, Sam.
You're forgetting the basic, the foundationals.
I'm gonna have my Monster Kid card revoked.
Oh no. Am I still animated, or am I in full motion?
You're animated. It looks great now.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Is it like trippy, like laser show?
No,
like
not at all. It's crystal clear.
Oh, okay, good. All right, that works.
You're HD now.
Okay. I don't want to be like Laser Zeppelin with the Buell Planetarium.
Does anybody watch us on a TV, or are you watching on your device? I wonder this all the time. So
yeah,
people in the chat chime in. Let me know how you're watching the program. I know Mark Dockham watches it on a big screen TV, like a projector.
Wow.
I know.
That's a big idea. My giant head to get used to.
Big idea to get used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my line.
I know. I wanted to steal it from you. That was my Bruno Mattei version of it.
You know what? Do you know what that's from, right?
No, what is it from?
It's from Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Oh, okay. I figured it was.
When Aunt Susan is talking about the inheritance money, and she's like, I have no idea what was between your mother and my mother, but I don't see why like a third of this money shouldn't be yours. And she's like, she's chewing and she's like, a third? Wow, it's a big idea to get used to.
Yeah. Wow.
Like she would have, I think it was like $300,000 or something. So much back then.
Oh, so much. This is interesting. There are a lot of people that watch on the TV. This is exciting. I get excited when I subscribe to our YouTube channel, and as I watch YouTube on TV, sometimes my face just randomly shows up, and I'm like, oh, I finally made it. I'm on the TV. Really, it's nothing.
Yeah, this is great that so many people watch on TV. We especially want you to watch the movies on a TV, if you can. I can't because I have to be here for this setup. I guess I can't go downstairs and watch them. So our second movie tonight is something that I know you've been dying to do ever since we started doing this show, because you love this movie. You love the lead actress.
I do.
It's Marta.
And it is Marta. And man, this has another great alternative title, which is the Italian title is, or Spanish title is Dopo decine usce il maschio e lo devora, which is after that it kills the male and devours it, which is a fucking great title. That's like a near Italian level title for this movie.
It's amazing, isn't it? I love that too. I saw that on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, and Marisa Mell is in this, and I say that she's the female George Eastman to me. Like, she doesn't look like a maniac like George Eastman, who just shows up, is crazy, wild-eyed, and crazy in every movie. But no matter what she's in, if I just see her in the credits, I'll obviously watch the movie. Probably best known, she's in Danger Diabolic, is probably the role that most people know her from. But man, this movie is awesome, and this movie is very gothic. It's Don Miguel, who's Stephen Boyd, is haunted by his dead mother and his missing wife, and he may have murdered his wife. He may not have, until he meets a runaway named Marta, who may have killed the man she's running from. And she looks exactly like his dead wife. And things progress from there. So there's a lot of like kind of Hitchcocky kind of things happening in this. And man, it's just really dreamy. And also, Stephen Boyd and Mel fell in love between this and The Great Swindle. He didn't want anything to do with her and kept trying to resist her. He fell for her, and they were married in a gypsy ceremony in Madrid where they cut their wrists and sealed their blood together. They were so possessed by their sexual desire that when they broke up, they had an exorcism to finish their relationship. In real life, not in this movie. This is real Stephen Boyd and Marisa Mell life. He said that he had to run from her as their relationship physically and mentally exhausted it. She told the Akron Beacon Journal, why Akron newspaper we're talking, Marisa Mell, who knows. We both believe in reincarnation, and we realize we've been lovers in 3 different lifetimes. And each one, I make him suffer terribly. Oh, man, I love Marisa Mell so much. Anyway, the same year this happened, I have a lot to say about her, but she was involved with the guy Piero Luigi Torri, an aristocratic nightclub owner who fled the country. And he had found a $300 million gold mine, also scammed a bank, escaped from his jail cell, and ran from the police across rooftops and led Interpol on a chase for 18 months to find him. So basically, she dated Danger Diabolic in real life. It wasn't just a movie thing. Her life is very strange and very crazy. But what's really awesome about this movie, back to the movie, is her character also collects insects. And it's just a strange movie. And she looks like his ex-wife, Pilar, or dead wife, who either left him is killed. And he also keeps seeing his mother, and who's dead. And Marta also has to act like she's the dead wife so that the police don't arrest her new lover. There's a lot of mistaken, strange, weird identity. No, isn't that what we demand in this? So, yeah, I'm excited.
This movie confused me for that reason, because the first time I saw it, I was like 7 or 8 years old. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. It was on Chiller Theater.
Yeah, it's part of the Nightmare Theater package of 13 films that I wrote about for Driving Us Home. And I can't imagine this movie playing on Chiller Theater. Like, probably uncut. Like, I can't imagine. And Spain entered this movie into the Oscars. This was Spain's entry for the Oscars the year that it came out. Again, fucking maniacs entered it in there. But it
didn't make it as a nominee.
Oh, no. And then in case you're wondering, the other movies in the Nightmare Theater package, they are all awesome. But they are A Bell from Hell, Death Smiles on a Murder. Guess how much I love that movie. Maniac Mansion, Night of the Sorcerers, which we've already shown on the show. Fury the Wolfman, Hatchet for the Honeymoon. How much do I love that movie? Horror Rises from the Tomb, Dear Dead Delilah, Doomwatch, Witch's Mountain. Love that movie. Mummy's Revenge, and The Witch. Every one of those movies is awesome. How did any of them play on television and people not lose their minds? Only one of those movies is from America, Dear Dead Delilah. One's from England, Doomwatch, which is a movie made from a TV series. All the rest, Avco Embassy picked them up. They may have played them in the Avco Embassy theaters. I don't know if you found anything, Bill. But I don't really think Marta played any theaters in the U.S., but you could prove me wrong.
Well, I am going to prove you wrong.
Oh, good. Becca said to me, how did anyone know about this stupid movie? Because it didn't play any theaters. And I said, we'll find out on the show.
So yes, it did.
Oh, boy. I'm excited.
Here we go. There's actually no one was more surprised than me to find ads for Marta. In fact, I wasn't even going to do one because I just assumed there were no screenings. And I was like, you know what? I never really looked. And lo and behold, here it was, December 24th, 1972 in Macon, Georgia.
Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to steal your line again. It is a big idea to get
go ahead, because it's not really even my line.
No, but yes.
So yeah, and what a tagline too.
Oh man. Oh.
Well, I realized that the tagline was a ripoff of an earlier movie starring Raquel Welch. I think
What's that?
one of those. I knew you were going to ask me that.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
It was a similar ad campaign. I don't know if they actually saw it and decided to rip it off. It was like everybody loves her. One man wants to kill her. And this one, of course, you can see is.
Oh yeah, it's that one spy movie she did. I can't remember what one it is. Yeah.
So it's similar.
Yeah.
But look at this. It says adults only, as if this was an adult movie.
This is for grown-ups.
So
please.
Yeah, here it was. This was from March of '73. So a couple months later, it was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's interesting that movies like this played in the American South because, well, I don't know. It just seems like the audience who was who was into, like, you know, the horror movies in any part of the country would go to see something like this and be confronted by Marta, which you're going to see.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing in common with other movies that were showing at the drive-in, but the sex, I guess, was something that it had in common, and maybe that's why
it's just such a gothy kind of. I don't want to say slow, but yeah, it's not. You know,
easy, Darren.
Yeah.
I was thinking it too. We were all thinking it.
Hey, meet me at the Gamecock. That's where we're going to see Marta. Oh man.
Here it was. This was a co-feature in Victoria, Texas, March of 1974.
Oh man.
So those were the only screenings I could dig up. You know, just like one per year, or one or two per year, and only in the cities that I mentioned.
So amazing.
Then, wait, there's more. Look at this, Sam.
Oh my gosh, Perversion Story. Oh, that's my dream night at the movies right there.
One on top of the other.
Yeah.
Who is directed by? Which is directed by who?
Lucio Fulci.
So there you go. Marta playing with a Fulci film at the Red Raider Drive-In.
A Fulci movie shot in America in San Quentin prison.
This is from Lubbock, Texas, in March or June of 1973.
Red Raider, I love you. When I figure out how to go back in time, this is a Sam dream double feature. Oh man.
I got really excited when I found this ad. I had a hard time identifying the second movie because, see, it's all blurry. This was the best one I could find.
I just know because it's almost the same cover as the Blu-ray I have, so I knew instantly. I got super excited.
Marta looks like she just got out of the shower.
Yeah.
Like she's like messing with, or she's just about to get in the bath and she's tying up her hair.
The tagline really doesn't make sense, but does it need to make sense? No. It does not.
So this is when Marta played on Chiller Theater in 1977.
The description has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So another Susan George appearance, though, right above it. I mean, is Susan George getting royalties from me? Yes, she is.
And look at the Deadly Bees was the competition for Marta.
Jesus, the world. How much better was our world at one point, Bill? Like, look at this. Like,
this wasn't necessarily a better world though, because you had to choose. You couldn't watch both movies. So you know, a lot of people may have tuned out on Marta to go watch the Deadly Bees. I think I did.
Did you? Yeah. You know what? If I was gonna be. If we talked in school the next day and I said, "What did you watch?" I watched Marta. It was insane. And you're like, "Oh, why didn't you watch the Deadly Bees, Sam? Come on."
The Deadly Bees was a little bit more interesting to me at age 7. because Marta confused me. I did watch it, and especially the opening of the film. I definitely remember that because it was.
It's about to confuse everybody. Marta. Yeah, well, Sunset Boulevard playing at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon for the kids to chill out and watch.
I've got oil wells pumping. So here's another one.
Look at this lineup. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Slaughter of the Vampires is playing.
Look at the description for that.
Earth is invaded by vampires. Hey, and there's Son of Frankenstein. Oh, man.
Yeah, this was the second feature after Marta. This was the when it played in this was the May of 77 screening. I got them backwards. The one they were both on Chiller Theater. It was on Chiller Theater 3 times.
Oh, but, I wish I had a tape of Chili Billy coming back from a break.
Talking about Marta. Yeah. He did mention the movies sometimes,
Sometimes, yeah. But, I'd be like, man, he's like, what the fuck are we showing tonight, kids?
The one I showed first was actually from March of 1980. So I was 10, and I was still not digging Marta because I switched over to the Deadly Bees.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was the first time I saw Son of Frankenstein.
Oh, man.
And it was late.
I love Son of Frankenstein. I actually love Bride and Son more than the original Frankenstein.
Yeah, I loved Son a lot, Paul, when I saw it first, too. And now I like Bride the best.
But, Bride's
oh, my God. Yeah, it's just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I love watching it at Halloween. It's one of my go-to Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Slaughter of the Vampires. What is that movie? That's Jean Rollin, isn't it?
No, I don't think. I think Slaughter of the Vampires is an Italian movie, I think.
Is that Count Karnstein?
You know what? I'm not sure.
I always get confused about what that movie is.
If only I had a magical box in my hand that I could look up, and I could have been like, I could have like vamped. So you guys wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, Sam doesn't know. Slaughter of the Vampires is, it's by Roberto Muari, and it is an Italian film. Stars Walter Brandi, Luigi Bezzella, and Griselli Granata, which those names got angelicized in the thing there. It's from 1962. It was released in the U.S. as Curse of the Blood Ghouls.
Okay, now I know exactly what movie that is, because this is what I go through when I program the page. Like I can't just I can't just let it fly out there without much explanation, because I tried doing that and people start chiming in and they're like almost annoyed that I didn't put the other titles down. So now I like figure out how many titles were there. How are people going to know this movie? And I get confused by that one all the time.
How dare you, sir?
I know.
Yeah.
Like I'll refund all the money you spent here, which is nothing.
I told Bill in between, the highlight of my week was someone telling David Gregory he didn't know anything about Martin, and like edgelording him about Martin. And I was like,
please describe that situation.
So like they were talking about, there's the longer cut of Martin that got sold in auction, which no one's ever going to see because Paul Rubenstein, all the issues back and forth. Someday we'll see it. But anyway, this guy was like, it's a 3-hour cut. And David Gregory was like, I think it's closer to 2.5 hours, but hey, who knows? Nobody's seen it except the person that owns it, but it'd be really cool to see. And the guy's response was like, hey, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. And it was like instantly like edgelord. Like, I'm like, he knows what he's talking about. Like, just like, let's all chill out. Let's chill out about something that ultimately nobody's going to win this argument. Like, it's cool. We're all fun.
Yeah, that annoys everybody.
Oh,
I don't know why people do things like that.
It's like, come on, guys. Like, let's all just get along. Oh, well.
I used to have somebody that annoyed me like that on the Halloween 2 IMDb. There was this guy on there that like just fucked with me. Every time I posted, he would start like commenting underneath of it, telling me how stupid I was.
Oh,
which he's probably right, but like, I don't know. Just he just really got at me all the time.
When I was younger, I used to want to be right all the time, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Or if somebody did something wrong, I was like, that guy's wrong. Like, people need to know he's wrong. As I've gotten older, I've just gotten exhausted, and I'm just like, he can be wrong. That's fine. There's only a few times where it happens where people are like, someone wrote a couple weeks ago, like, Lucian Fulci didn't direct anything until 1979, and I was like, I can't. It's like the Hulk, when like Bruce Banner would just run so he didn't turn. He would turn to the camera, his eyes were green, and he was like, and like he would just keep running. That's what I was like. I was like, don't turn.
He used to always get mad at me because I think I made a post about Jamie Lee Curtis's wig in the movie, and he would there'd be people that would laugh about the wig with me, and then he'd be like, I didn't know she wore a wig. Yeah. I didn't think it didn't look that bad. I'm like, dude, just don't come at me over that. I mean, come on. Like, I fucking love this movie. Why do you think I'm here posting about
this? Comment was not Becca. Becca is super smart about movies. Just so everybody knows.
She is.
The other day we were talking about movies, and I said, well, you know who designed the costumes for Troll 2? Instantly, second. She said, yes, of course I know. She's wonderful. So, my wife remembers this stuff. Imagine living with me and someone nonstop talking about Fulci and Bruno Mattei. She's a fucking saint. And she retains way more of it than I think. So she listens to me all the time. She just yelled, do you think I don't listen? She listens all the time. Our anniversary is next week. 8 years.
Yeah, right on.
8 years of me forcing her to learn the multiple titles of Sergio Martino movies. She does not care. She's still here. Got a room full of G.I. Joes, got a room full of DVDs. She's still sticking around.
I guess it's love.
I guess it's love. It is definitely love. Must be love. Love. Hey, want to make
nothing a drink? More, nothing less. Love is the best.
This drink's complicated. Oh, yeah. She said she just got married to me to stay close to you, Bill.
Oh, that makes me feel even better.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know that my love was requited.
It is requited. So this drink's going to have some muddling in it. So we're going to put some muddle gently, as Becca said. That's true. I don't want to get the muddling all over. We're going to put in some, we're going to start with some mint. This is a fancy drink for a fancy movie, right? Look at that mint. What's the street value of this mint? I don't know, $3.99.
What do you have, an ounce?
Yeah, I got a couple ounces, yeah.
Or quarter?
Quarter. I got some Keef of
let me have a sample first.
Yeah. You know what I do? I'm like one of those guys that dips their fingers in Coke and does this to their teeth. I do that with the mint. It's good stuff. That's how you know how it's Coke.
That's how they did it in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if that really works. Was there just a cop that was like insulting it's an asshole? He goes, oh yeah, we put it on our teeth.
Coke is not my thing. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. All right, now we're gonna put some frozen blueberries in this piece. Look at this, we're going crazy. We're getting like vitamin C. Blueberries are good for you all the way around. I'm gonna put some in the final glass too, so they're in the glass. All right. Up next, some simple syrup. What? Not that simple. All right. And you're going to put like a half an ounce of simple syrup in there. And now it's time to get to the muddling. Here we go. The muddler.
Muddle the hell out of that thing, Sam. Keep muddling.
Keep muddling. I want you to never stop muddling. Marthaling this drink. All right. I think that's pretty muddled. I'm gonna get some ice. Please hold for a second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Freezer avalanche.
I knocked part of the fridge off.
That happened to me the other day, and I almost broke my foot.
It happened to you too?
Something fell out. It was really heavy, and it hurt. I didn't expect it to hurt, and it did.
Yeah, it's fun. Appearance by backup. Fixing it.
It's Mrs. Elrod.
Yeah. All right.
No one look at me.
And now we're going to do 6 ounces of lemonade. Sorry, baby.
You are full screen too, Becca.
Great.
6 ounces. I was just extolling your virtues. I didn't break it. I just stowed it. All right, 6 ounces of lemonade. Finally. What about that alcohol, Sam? 2 ounces of blueberry vodka.
Ooh.
Now that everything's been muddled, broken, and fucked with, we can tightly secure this and shake it.
Give us that terror train shake. Ken, I'm going to go get some coffee. They've got coffee up front.
Perfect pour. That's what that was. Finally, the piece de resistance. I cut these earlier. Lemon slices.
Ooh.
There you go. Look at that beautiful drink. It came out really nice.
It is beautiful. And you put so much effort into that. I feel bad that I just made the same drink I started off with. So
You know what? If it ain't broke, I believe in 2 things. If you have to ask for how much it costs, you can't afford it. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Totally agree.
Do you know that story about my brother, Bill?
No, but you're gonna tell me.
We're in Market District, and we might have been really high. And we were looking at nectarines, and some lady said to my brother, "How much are those nectarines?" And he said, "What if you have to ask? You can't afford them." And she just looked at me and like almost started crying. And I said, "He's kidding." He goes, "No, I'm not. If she has to ask, she can't afford them." I'm like, "Oh boy." Anyway.
On that note, Pazuzu. So
I feel like a high class cad right now.
I don't think it's a spoiler alert to say that one of my 3 films that I talked about on the Facets video was Black Christmas.
Oh, yes. I almost wore the same shirt, so we would have been twins tonight if I wore it.
We should have. It would have been on brand.
It would have been.
We really should be comparing notes, Sam, before we go on the air.
Well, the producer called me and said, "Bill said to wear whatever you want." And then you were like, "No, I told Sam to wear that shirt." And that producer's gone now.
God damn it. I knew that was a problem.
That producer's gone. That intern's gone. I told the story about Blythe Danner, and we fired people in the studio because Blythe Danner flipped out, right?
No. I mean, I think you did, but what? Just
we
say
were doing
it again.
a voiceover with Blythe Danner, the voice of UPMC, and somebody was drinking tea because they had a really bad sore throat, and the noise of the spoon went near her headphones. She had been like in the middle of an 8-hour session. She just lost her mind. She's like, Who is drinking soup while I'm doing my voiceover?" And it was the owner of the studio. And he's like, "Hold on a second." And he just started yelling, just unintelligibly yelling at nobody. And he goes, "We just fired that kid. Don't worry about it." She's like, "Good. He deserves to be fired." Nobody was fired. We were just sitting there laughing at her. Big business of advertising.
Darren, it is not a triple feature at Facets. I just meant it's a double feature. It's next Friday. Well, this coming Friday, December 9th. It begins at 7 p.m. at Facets in Chicago. It's 2 Killer Santa movies, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Dial Code Santa. And the 3 movies I was talking about was I did an ad gallery for Silent Night, Deadly Night, a video intro for the movie. But there were no ads for Dial Code Santa. So instead, I did an ad gallery of my top 3 favorite Christmas horror movies. And of course, one of them is Black Christmas. Because how could I make a list like that and not mention Black Christmas on it? It's one of the movies that was one of the, it was almost like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the way Black Christmas affected me. Even though they're not similar, you know, there is a hook scene in each one, but they're not really, Black Christmas isn't quite as gruesome in its theme as Texas Chainsaw, but it was just the way it upset me was similar.
Yeah, it's a very dark movie. That's why I love it. 1 second, I have to slide over for that. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's the way just the way the whole movie is constructed with it. I thought the whole interior of that sorority house was creepy. And it just reminded me of like some old person's house that you didn't really want to hang out in because it was spooky. And then there was this creepy guy that nobody knew was hiding in the attic. It was like that old, like, you know, your home has been invaded, but you're not aware of it, like Bad Ronald. But
that's what I don't like about the first remake is that they spend too much time explaining who he is. Like, do you know what I mean? Like giving away who he is. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yeah, there's too much info. That was like Halloween, you know, there wasn't much to the background of Michael Myers, but then the remake was all about, well, here's why Michael Myers is. So, and we didn't really want, I didn't want to know that. I didn't care. No. I knew enough about Michael Myers.
I think that this is very much influenced by that. Yeah, where it's like, oh, people were wondering who Michael Myers is.
It's just a different audience. I mean, like it's a remake. You know, I don't. It's just not for me. But you know, they did reach a bigger audience with the Black Christmas remakes. You know, people that probably think the original is too slow and boring.
The last
not
one
our age.
I would arguably say the first one isn't bad. The second one, I like. The first one, there's parts of that I like. The second one, I do not like at all. But to each their own. There might be people that love it. They might think that that's the best Christmas movie there is. I guess, you know. I'm not going to tell people what to watch or what not to watch.
No one wants to hear that anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm messing with the link. I dropped the link to the movie in chat.
Awesome. Yeah, because this is a really hard to find movie.
Don't ask any questions. Just use the link that's in the chat.
Yeah.
And everything will become obvious.
Yeah, and that link will not be around forever.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be around for tonight, for watching the movie tonight.
Yeah. Bill, speaking of the Christmas movies, I can tell you the first couple ones this week where we go over. Blood Beat is up tomorrow, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Christmas Evil on Monday. Prancer, the 1989 movie that is, wow, is it dark, and made by the director of the original My Bloody Valentine. And The Legend of the Christmas Witch by Michelle Suave is on Wednesday. That's all I got figured out so far. Already I've done The Magic Christmas Tree, which is a movie that no child should be forced to sit through. Santa with Muscles, the Hulk Hogan Christmas movie. Which
you love that movie.
Oh my God. It's rough. And Elves. So that is what's coming up so far, but lots more Christmas. If anybody has any Christmas requests, let me know.
One of the other movies I mentioned at Facets is Night Train Murders, which was sold in the States briefly as Christmas Massacre, Xmas Massacre.
Yeah.
And I mainly picked that because of the ad campaign. It's just cool to show that ad and be like, do you know what this movie is? Yeah. Because it only showed that, it only played as Christmas Massacre maybe for like 5 or 6 months. in 1977, I think.
It's a really slick looking movie, though, for being an exploitation movie. It's a really gorgeous looking movie.
Night Train Murders?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got that, I always call it soft artness of the Italian shot on film stuff, where it's like the colors and everything are really beautiful, but it's a very ugly movie.
Yeah, it's so nasty. It's another one I never want to see again. Like it was great, but it was just funny because the Christmas connection in that is so tenuous. I mean, there's only a few references to the idea that it's Christmas, but it's just funny that they sold it like that. And I got to thinking about other movies that have Christmas scenes in them, like the Slayer.
Yeah.
The Slayer be a Christmas movie?
Is Night Killer is a Christmas movie?
Night Killer.
Because they pull the mask out of the gift at the end for her. Someone meanly wrote on my page when I put Night Killer up as a Tubi pick, I guess you're going to have to write about this movie all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's one of my favorite movies. Like, what am I not going to write about Night Killer? Come on.
Hear me now, believe me later. You will love Night Killer one day.
Yeah. Deep Red's another one. There's a Christmas gift in the beginning.
Oh, right. I love the Deep Red Christmas scene.
Mm-hmm.
I love how that they got that actress. They were trying to make it look like she was really young, or a lot younger in that scene, and she's like covered in wax or something. And they had her just stand really still. They're like, no.
I did pee too, Garen. Maybe I will put that up for this month. It's a pretty good one too. I like Scent a lot. It's by the guy who made The Lift in Amsterdam. That's pretty. It's the real Santa coming back. That's pretty great. Man, I have a lot of wild ones that are coming. Yeah, who doesn't love Night Killer? If I meet people that don't like it, I'm just like, yeah.
Those people deserve side eye.
Oh, come on. It's one of those movies like The Apple that the more I watch it, the more I like it. And the more I get away from the rest of humanity that says this is not a good movie. I say, is it? It's entertaining. It's definitely entertaining. I saw a list of Nightmare on Elm Street ripoffs on the YouTube thing, and someone's like, this movie's so bad. And they were like making fun of it. I'm like, you lost me. We were going to be friends, and you lost me.
Okay, yeah. It's bad.
You know, I like this, by the way.
It's so bad, it's good.
No. I like that I can hold this like a brandy snifter, and I can be like...
It is so classy.
It's so
this is one classy joint, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. This is the classiest episode. And we're taking out the, taking it out the right way.
I think so, too. This is our
Mike
last
Justice
show in 2022.
Mike said the creepy guy in Night Killer is a total fox. He has my favorite line in the whole movie. After his, spoiler, wife flushes his clothes down the toilet. That guy at the front goes, "What happened to you?" And he goes, I just got it. I just got assaulted in a little boy's room.
Ed Mikowski, check your Facebook messages. I sent you a DM.
Ooh. What's going on?
It was what he was asking for.
Oh. Ooh.
If any of you are friends with me on Facebook and you need what Ed was asking for, ask me, and I will DM it to you. It's the same link I posted in chat.
Yeah. Alden, I'm drinking the recipe for the show. It's a blueberry lemonade with mint in it. That's the drink this week. It's not cranberry juice, even though it looks like cranberry juice. It is not. So you ready?
My third film.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That I mentioned for facets. I'm totally spoiling it here on the air, but it's no big deal. My third film was, of course, Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Yeah.
Because, it's... I think you asked me the other day what my favorite Christmas horror movie was, and it would have to be a toss-up between Black Christmas and Silent Night, Bloody Night. Because, and I think, I've seen Black Christmas so many times, but I've only seen Silent Night, Bloody Night maybe 4 or 5 times. So every time I watch it, I start to absorb a little bit more of that weird atmosphere that it does so well. And it's just one of those movies. It's like watching somebody's nightmare, because there is no real protagonist in that movie. Like, it shifts constantly, because like for a while it's Jeffrey, the grandson, and then it shifts to Mary Warnoff, and then it becomes about even the people who are being murdered in the movie. Even though they're criminals, they're suddenly the victim, and we're seeing it from their point of view. Like the way it consistently, then there's all those strange flashbacks in it. I just love that movie. Every time I see it, I love it a little more.
It is very well. It also has a lot of Warhol superstars in it in those scenes too. It has like a very. I always thought when I read about it before and had not seen it, I thought it was just going to be a simple exploitation movie. But it has, and I don't mean this in a bad way, pretensions. I should say aspirations to art. It's more than. Do you know what I mean? It's more than just a simple movie.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's a bad thing to say. You know, that it was. You know, they tried to do something a little bit classy with it, maybe, but there are all these really super sleazy elements, including like all the strange family history with incest and, you know, a father having a baby with his daughter. And it's so creepy at the end where he calls Mary Warnoff Mary Ann.
Yeah.
Because it's not her. Like it couldn't be her, because she was the offspring, or no, Jeffrey was the offspring, but Mary Warnoff wasn't Mary Ann. Like, she was too young, because Mary Ann died and that was the whole reason for his revenge, was because Mary Ann died in that break in the asylum that he triggered when he let everybody out. So, but he calls her Mary Ann, like, and I don't even think she really understands the implication of it when he says that to her. It's just a really, maybe they didn't intend for it to be as well done as it is, but it ended up being, you know, really something unusual and special to me.
Yeah. You may do another line from Night Killer before we do Marta.
Oh yeah, I guess we should go to Marta. I'm going on and on.
My favorite part of other favorite line of Night Killer is when Melanie is giving herself a breast exam for some reason in front of the mirror. I don't know why. And she goes, well, here we are, Melanie Beck. This is you. You have a daughter. You got a marriage on the rocks. Nothing but gray skies ahead. And then the phone rings and the Night Killer says, you're a fine-looking woman, Mrs. Beck. Just begging to be fucked senseless. Man, that movie. I'm going to watch it again tonight after this.
Well, I'm going to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Don't you think?
Is that the one with the conspiracy theory stuff in it? Or is that the one after?
It's the same movie.
Oh, no, you're Behind the Door 3 is what you're saying, yeah. Or don't go in, what's it called? Don't go into the door 3.
Night Killer, yeah. Night Killer was Texas Chainsaw 3 in one country.
You're right. You got me. Oh, this drink's giving me the vapor.
I thought you, of all people, would get my obscure.
I knew I was going to use the Italian title. I'm covering myself. I'm tired, Bill. Got up early and started writing.
All right.
Wait to see how loopy I get for the third segment. I think we haven't had a real good super loopy third segment in a while, so I'm gonna push myself.
Paul, Marta is not the movie to keep you awake, so maybe you should go get a cup of coffee.
Enjoy your night.
There's some serious blood mania vibes in Marta. And that's one of the reasons that I I'm so attracted to this movie, because it's one of these things about people with strange motivations that are in this beautiful castle type surrounding. So I hope everyone likes it. It's a movie near and numerous times. So if you don't have it by now, you're never going to get it. Come back after the movie and we'll have lots more to talk about.